Welcome. I'm Halcyon, and this is Hug Nation. Today the topic is, do you believe in God? I'll prepare for the backlash. That is such a loaded question, and it means the minute it leaves my lips, it means different things to every single person who hears it. God is one of those words that is defined by your experiences. It's not like apple. We all can look and go, that's an apple. But words like love, words like integrity, words like loyalty and honor and God, these words are concepts that require such a depth of context that we can't really comprehend what someone else is thinking about when they use those words. So let's preface this conversation with that understanding. Now, and let me give a little bit of background to my spiritual path and my relationship with organizations that teach you about God. In my history, that was churches, or a church. I went to church all growing up, went to Sunday school, went to confirmation classes. And when I was going through confirmation in my teens, I started to have some doubts. It seemed like good stories, seemed like some good morals, but I couldn't get my head around the idea that this entity, this person, Jesus, was the Son of God. I couldn't get my hand around that relationship. And so I struggled, and I told my minister that, and in a very significant part of my upbringing, he said, "Great, good for you for questioning. You should not just accept everything taught to you. You should keep questioning." And I was like, "Well, should I not be confirmed?" And he said, "That's up to you. This is just a pageantry. It's just a ceremony. If you want to do it for your family, then by all means go through it. But this is your path." It's like, wow, that was so awesome. And I did get confirmed. My grandfather was in the audience. He was also the one who baptized me. My mom, who still goes to church every week, was there. But she is also one who questions, as is my grandfather. If you watched me talk to him in the end of his life, how much he questioned certain activities of the traditional church, even the word Christian he had struggles with because it was associated with so many activities that were outside of what he thought to be the teachings of Jesus. But I'm getting off track. Do you believe in God? So after I started to go through college and really get a bigger handle on information outside of my socialization, I started to be like, wait a minute. Not only do I question what has been taught to me by my church, I have anger towards the socializing and the oppressive intentions behind so much of the traditional churches and so much of the organizations, the dogma that keeps people in their place, not to free their spirits, not to get them to afterlife, but to subdue them. As Mark said, be the opiate of the masses. And so I got angry, and I started to really seek out people who were believers to get in debates with them. And I would hear the word, people talk about their religion or say the word God, and my instinct was like, you're such an idiot. And I would judge people so quickly. I think I've gotten a little bit more open and wise, and that's because I've met so many people who have belief systems that are different than mine, but that allow them to be wonderful people in the world. And I'll get a little bit more into that, but really, I'm way less attached to what someone believes and far more interested in how they act. So what I told this person who emailed me last week when they asked, do you believe in God? Was, well, let me actually take a step and say, I'm actually surprised that I don't get asked that more often. There's a video where I talk about my grandmother's death and that my grandpa said that my wife has changed her residence to heaven. And that video has been seen by close to 35 million people, or at least 35 million times. Maybe it's one person 35 million times, but it's been watched a lot. And so a lot of people have been exposed to me talking about what happens after you die in a positive way. And people attach all sorts of stories to that. And sometimes I'll see in comments people will use what I said as an argument in favor of whatever their beliefs are. But I'm surprised that more people don't ask me for follow-up. But last week someone did. A young Catholic girl did. I didn't know she was Catholic when she asked. I just knew that she'd seen the video and was interested in what I believed about God and what happens after you die. And so I told her, I said, yes, but not as a being or entity. I believe there is an intelligence to the universe and a loving, surging flow that transcends the physical world we experience. I believe that we are all a part of God, like cells in a cosmic being. I also believe that humans are unable to fully comprehend God. I believe there are forces and dimensions that I cannot grasp. I believe one's mission is to experience, not understand. And I'm comfortable with that statement. When I posted it, I was a little nervous because it's a little too spiritual for my atheist friends and a little too atheist for my spiritual friends is how I was viewing it. And people started to respond in all different ways that I so appreciated. My friend Jay Farina, he said, what you really mean is no. Because the person asking the question wanted to know if you believed in God in the same way they did. Do you believe in the God that they believe in according to their Catholic faith? So your answer should have been no. It's like, So I guess my answer is, who's asking? If you're Catholic, my answer is no, I don't believe in God as you understand him. But if you're an atheist, then my answer is yes, I believe in God. I believe there is something beyond what can be explained with physics, beyond what I will ever understand with the perceptions of a human mind and sensations and measurement and tools. I believe that I have been exposed to and been witness to magic, love, things that I cannot place into the boxes of a purely scientific cause-effect world. So my answer is yes, and my answer is no. My friend Wilkes had a really interesting response, I thought. He said, personally, I don't like to use the word believe, as it requires a leap of blind faith to believe in something, anything, and has a lot of assumed baggage about what this means. That I agree with. I have come to answer the question with, yes, I experience God/universal energy/presence/the divine/greater consciousness every moment of every day. I like that a lot too. But I also am not ready to get rid of the word believe. Yes, I think it's very dangerous. I think belief can lead us down to fighting and paths that are very hard to get out of, that we can't dig ourselves out with logic or debate or arguments. But there is things about belief that are amazing. I think about placebo. This is science. Placebo works. If you believe that a sugar pill will help you, it will help you. There's a good chance, as much as any chemical will. If you believe that you will heal from an ailment, if you believe that you will mend something wrong with your body, you have a way better chance of doing so. So belief is not irrelevant. Your beliefs, your thoughts do affect your reality. So it actually is kind of important what you believe. And I would argue that you don't have to limit your beliefs to facts. That's a dangerous thing to say, I know. But let's say I believe that I live in a world where there is love, there is something wonderful, there is a purpose to being good and loving and kind. There is a reason. There is that there is this cosmic force of divine love that I choose to get in line with in my acts and my deeds. And that's my belief in it, and it makes me feel connected to my fellow human beings. It makes me act with kindness, and it gives me this sense of purpose that makes my life so rich. What if, when I die, I learned that I was wrong? So what? There's no cosmic judge going, tweet, I'm sorry, we're going to deduct 2 points because you thought there was something amazing out there that's not there. On the other hand, what if I live my whole life just depressed and bummed out that I just can't figure it out? And then I find out that I'm wrong in that situation. If I'm right, big deal. No one's going to go when I die, you showed them, those idiots, those dummies that were so happy all their lives because they thought there was something bigger than them. Losers. So what? There's so many things. Let's say you believe that you look great naked in the mirror. Good. You should. That makes your life better. Now, you could make the argument, well, according to Men's Fitness magazine, you're getting saggy. Well, according to all, the societal rules, you should lose some weight. Yeah, that belief causes suffering. That belief matters. And there's no penalty for choosing a belief that makes you a better person, a happier person, a more connected person. So belief is kind of important. And if your beliefs can steer you into a way of acting in the world that's kind, that makes you feel connected, if you believe in a oneness to the universe that gives you empathy and compassion towards other people, the environment, animals, fantastic. Let's say you can't prove it. I can't prove that I am intimately connected to everything else in the universe. That is what belief is. That is what God is to me, is this thing that I cannot explain, that I cannot get my head around. It is bigger than the perceptions of my silly little mind. And my silly little mind is freaking amazing. It's mind-blowing. So my job during this lifetime is not to try to figure out, is there or isn't there, what is true in this realm beyond my human experience, but instead to dig in and feel and experience and learn and grow and have this human experience. I view God like it's an ingredient in a grand global game of Iron Chef. Do you know this TV show? There's these master chefs that are brought in, and at the last minute they're given a secret ingredient, and they have to cook with that. So the ingredient is octopus, and then each chef with their specialties, they'll go, okay, I'm going to make octopus ice cream, I'm going to make octopus s'mores, I'm going to make octopus ravioli, and they make whatever their skills and their experiences bring to the table to make palatable and beautiful and delicious out of this secret ingredient. The history of world religions is a massive game of Iron Chef. The secret ingredient is the unexplainable, God, the divine, that which is bigger than our ability to perceive. And each person, each master chef, each mystic, they try to explain this thing. They serve it up in their regional spices. They slather it with mayonnaise. They put saffron on it. They put curry sauce on it. And then the people who have had similar experiences to them go, oh, this is delicious. And then often what happens is, as they're eating their noodle bowl of God, they see someone eating their peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich of God, and they go, ugh, how could, that is, ugh, you have got it all wrong. And they go, you have got it all wrong. When really we're eating the same thing. We're nourishing on the same secret magic thing. It's just that we're getting attached to the spices, attached to the additives, attached to the language that goes around it. Now, one of my influences in this direction of thought was my grandfather. And he gave me a book that has become one of my prized possessions. He got it when he was traveling in India. It has never been published in the U.S. He got it in 1966 while traveling the world, and he was in India. It is All Religions Are True by Gandhi. And it is a collection of essays, and it has these dialogues where he is talking with ministers and people of other faiths who are trying to convince him of the truth of their faith, trying to convince them of their definition of God. And he basically says, you can never understand what someone else's belief system is. You can never understand someone's faith, their religion, because what religion is trying to take the inexplainable and express it. And the minute it travels through a human consciousness and becomes words, it is bastardized. It is corrupted. It is no longer the truth. And so when we start arguing about the truth of the words, we are already lost. The best, Gandhi says, you can do is appreciate someone's perspective. You can never understand what it's like in their shoes. You can never have the experiences that led them to be able to shape the words, the ideas, in a way that they are perceiving it. You can only try to appreciate. And so, do I believe in God? According to my spices, according to my regional foods, and yeah, it's been a long time, but yeah, I believe there's something bigger. And you know what? You don't have to. I'm sharing this in no way to try to attempt you to believe what I believe, to change what you believe. I do share it because sometimes people are curious, and I think a lot of people are seeking. And I find it interesting to hear what other people have come up with along their path with ideas about morality and religion and values and things like that. So this is where I stand. My friend Ford just asked me if I could address this question that might be helpful to a parent. Because I'll say I do not envy those who have to have these hard conversations with people who are figuring out the world, because by definition, as you answer the question, you are spicing something that really needs to be personally spiced to taste. And you are preparing it for someone and affecting it the way that they understand it. I grew up thinking that I didn't like spicy food because my parents didn't like spicy food. It wasn't until I was in my 30s and I was on a date and this woman goes, "You don't like spicy food? It's like a mouth spanking. It's awesome." And I was like, wait, I don't even know if I like spicy food. So I don't hold it against my parents, but they affected my understanding of God just like they affected my understanding of spicy food. It's all Iron Chef, people. So what would I say, or what would I advise, or what would I tell a child? I think it wouldn't be that much different than my answer, which is that I believe that there is something that we cannot understand that is bigger than our ability to comprehend, and it is deeply personal. And when people try to express that personal thing, the minute we have the conversation, we're no longer saying the same thing. And so you're going to hear people talking about what their beliefs are and what they think God is. And it's up to you if you think that's what it is to you. You just need to remember that everyone's experience of this is personal. And you may find a lot of people that have very similar experiences to you, and then you can get together with them, and that can be your congregation, and you can help each other stay on track, because the world at large probably is going to have pressures outside of your intimate spiritual connection with your beliefs. But even if you don't find anybody that believes what you do, even if your beliefs are vastly different than what mine are, your guardian, that's perfect too. It's one of those places in our lives where it is intensely intimate. It is intensely personal, I believe. Some will say you need to blindly listen to others and listen to what they tell you it is. I would say that is not the way you build your relationship with religion, with God, with the divine. So, whether you are a child or a child of God, probably both, I hope your belief system helps you to be a good person. I'm really lucky that I got to spend time with my grandfather, who identified as a retired minister, and other people in my life, like Jason, the co-founder of First Saturdays, who are, he's a Christian man, and these people that have found Jesus to be their guides has shown them to be exemplary human beings. My mother goes to church every Sunday. She also is very into the progressive aspects of the more mystical Christ, but I'm so lucky to have these examples of people that have found traditional spiritual paths, religious paths even, to serve them in a way that makes them into amazing people. So who am I to say what's right or wrong? Another thing that influenced me significantly was there is a book by Kurt Vonnegut called Cat's Cradle, and it is a fictional book, but it is about the end of the world. And it is about there's a chain reaction that happens in the environment, and human life is on its way of being exterminated, and this religion pops up called Bachanism. And it's a fully made-up religion. And that's kind of the point. One of the basic tenets of Bachanism is live by the FOMA that make you happy. I'm paraphrasing. But FOMA is translated to lies. Kind of Vonnegut putting out there saying, look, religion is bullshit, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have one. Find a belief system, find a set of lies, find a set of that makes you happy and makes you a good person, and go with that. And I'm going to make a religion that actually acknowledges that. And I'm like, yeah, right. So you're a Christian, so you're a Hindu, so you're a Buddhist. So, well, Buddhist is different because it's not really a belief system. It's more of that's a whole nother topic. Believe the FOMA that make you happy. Whatever beliefs guide you, may they make you into a loving person, into a kind person, so that you shine your light. Because I won't say I know, but I know that whatever God is or isn't, you got to be kind. Thank you for being you and shining your light. Whatever voices you hear, whatever icons you worship, whatever is outside of you and inside of you and that you are a part of, that we are connected by. Yes, all of the things. You're amazing. Namaste. I love you. And if you're still with us, let's have a Hug Nation hug. Wherever you are, grab yourself by the shoulders. And recognize that this body, what a gift it is from fate, from miracles, from God, from our parents, from biology, from Big Bang, Bonanza, whatever got us to this place where we are conscious inside this physical body, being able to taste, smell, and ride this roller coaster. We give thanks for that. And recognize that within this physical body is the set of thoughts and beliefs that shape the way we see things and feel things and get attached and have stress and enjoy. And we appreciate that too, all the while knowing that deep beneath that, I believe, is a love and light that shines through us that is, I believe, our God nature, our Christ consciousness, our cosmic one that flows through us. So let's be a part of that oneness as we take 3 breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb, all the seekers, all the belief systems, and all of you, happy Hug Nation.